Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett on this Tuesday night. I'm joined now by Lieutenant Todd Gilbert with the Grambling Township Police Department. Lieutenant Gilbert, thank you so much for joining me. I know that we've had a lot of conversations before on this Tuesday night, so thanks again for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is something that the Township Police Department posted over the weekend about theft that happened in Grambling Township, and you were able to get someone in that. Talk to me a little bit about the details in that case.
So officers were called over on Wakefield Road, which is part of the northeast part of the township. And they were called by somebody that said there was a person outside walking around they didn't recognize. This would have been about 2:30 in the morning. Officers got there, and there was a vehicle had the dome light on, and they were a person ended up running, and they surrounded the area. And in other words, they got a perimeter going, and one of our officers who's also trained in our drone was able to deploy the drone up in the air, and was immediately able to spot the person hiding. And then that person was taken into custody. There was another person arrested also along with that, and they were going through and entering into other people's cars that were in their driveway and stuff, and trying to look for valuables.
This is a good reminder for people to, lock their cars at night, because this can happen anywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, especially this time of year when people are out shopping, or they might have some packages they picked up from somewhere, whether it's at their house or even, when they're at the store. We'd kind of like to remind people to, if they're at the store and they've purchased something from the store and they're going into another store, keep those items in the trunk, out of sight. Even if you have to cover those items up with a blanket or something so they're not visible, and lock your doors. That's a big thing. Make sure your doors are locked. Very rarely, if ever, do we have anybody just break into something, like forcibly break into a car to get something, especially if it's not visible. And that's why at night, or when you park your car, when you get home from work or whatever, take all those items inside the house. Keep nothing valuable or visible in there. Take your key fob, put it inside, and that's going to help prevent some of these things from happening.
Is it more common this time of year than any other time of year for people to kind of, break into cars, or just open the car door?
Without really looking at any statistics, it always does feel like theft increases this time of year, whether it be shoplifting or car larcenies, or we refer to them as porch pirates, where people will come by and steal items that people have had shipped on their porch. And so it does just kind of feel like maybe there's a little bit of an uptick this time of year. And so it's just always a good reminder to people to do that. And with that, we've always heard the term, if you see something, say something. If you look out and you see somebody, walking around your residence or somebody else's, your neighbors, call us. If you don't recognize the person, it seems a little unusual, chances are it probably is. And we really encourage the public to call us so that we can come and check that out. That's really how that we catch people. Very rarely do we see just officers driving through a subdivision or neighborhood and happen upon something. The majority of the time is we're called there. And so we really rely on the public to be our eyes and ears.
How important is those eyes and ears to be out just in public, like if you're at a store, or if you're shopping, or, at the mall this time of year?
Extremely important. Be aware. It's be conscious that not everybody is there just simply to shop. That there are some people that are out there to steal, and and whether that's the store or whether that's steal from individuals or individuals' cars. Um, we do want people to be vigilant and enjoy themselves when they're out and feel safe when they're out. But part of that social contract responsibility that people have is that if they see something that does seem out of place or that looks like there's criminal activity afoot, call 911, call us. And sometimes I listen to people say, well, I really didn't want to bother you. I really didn't want to bother. We want to be bothered. Call us. We'd much rather come out there, catch somebody while they're doing it, um, try to recover property back, or even prevent them from doing it again, than we would just to come out and take a report and hope that the person gets caught later on, and hope we can connect them to what happened to the victim.
You talked a little bit about the porch pirates. What do people do when they're getting, these gifts and everything shipped to their homes?
Yep. You know, we understand that sometimes that's going to be delivered when you're not home, and you know, if you do have somebody that you trust, like a trusted neighbor that might be home, or a family member, to take that stuff and put it inside. Otherwise, it's always nice to have things like Ring doorbell cameras, outside surveillance system where they can watch that stuff and bring it in as soon as possible. Don't leave it out on the porch. Even when you get home. I know everybody likes to come home and relax, but you know, there's a the longer stuff is out there, the more enticing it may be for somebody, walking by or driving by.
When it comes to the holiday season, we see more people, driving out and about. There's people that are traveling here, family, friends. Will we see more officers out there on the road?
Yes, actually, we will. So we get grant money, traffic grant money from the Office of Highway Safety Planning, and so those active patrols and extra patrols are continuing. So the grant cycle just started back up again in October, and it's been going through November, and I'm assigning those extra patrol shifts out for December as it is. So, matter of fact, this past weekend, even the crew that was working, they took a number of people off the street for drunk driving, and I think it was the most I'd seen in a little while that they had arrested. So we have people out there, and we'd encourage people to get a ride as opposed to drive impaired, or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs. And yeah. So the other thing that I would kind of like to highlight on is, this is one of a number of times where we have been able to deploy this drone. And right now I've got 2 officers that are trained in it, and I've got another 2 that are currently going through that process to be certified drone operators. And that's a game changer. Like for this guy that ran over the weekend here, you know, it's very possible without a drone, he could have hid, we could have never found him, and he could have gotten away, or we would have found him, but it was taking a whole lot longer. And instead, we can put the drone up, and within 20, 30 minutes of even that officer getting a call when he's working to respond to that area and put that drone up in the area, that's a great eye in the sky. And they can use night vision and infrared technology so they can see the person and see exactly where they're at, and they can direct the other officers to where the person's at. That's just a huge game changer, and it's amazing technology that we're able to deploy here now.
Do you think that this is a game changer in this day and age of, policing?
Oh, absolutely. Even if I've got the Michigan State Police helicopter that's stationed at Bishop Airport, even if they're down for refueling and they got to get up in the air, it's going to take them much longer to do that and come over. And that's even if they're working.
Yeah.
Whereas these drones, there's a number of police departments starting to deploy them. And, we can get some of that same technology used on a helicopter in a drone it's a whole lot less expensive, and it's faster, and it's all right there that is in that officer's patrol car. And it's definitely, I've been a proponent of those for a long time. And even me, I've been shocked at, the results that we've gotten so far.
As we wrap things up here, Lieutenant Gilbert, is there anything else that you would like to add that we didn't talk about?
Just be safe. I hope everybody has had a great Thanksgiving. And I got to give a shout out to my Wolverines for beating Ohio State 4 years in a row. Yes. Sorry, I had to throw it out there. But no, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and we look forward to, everybody having a safe holiday season, and hopefully the thieves beware that we're out there, and that we do have, more people on the street, and we do have better technology.
Well, I just want to thank you for taking the time out on this Tuesday night to come and talk to us about so many important things and a lot of good reminders for people out there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, that does it for us for Crime Unveiled on this Tuesday night with Courtney Bennett. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week for another all-new digital desk show.